I am loving this energy today. I was going to say this morning, but today. I mean, it's Monday, I'm energized, and it sounds like you're all energized too. I'm loving the chat before even going live. The chat is active and going. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. I'm so happy. How has your Monday morning been? I know some of you are at uni, some of you are at work. I hope your Monday has been going well, and I hope you had a good weekend and self-isolation or this lockdown or whatever you want to call it hasn't been driving anyone too crazy. So yeah, well, how has your Monday been? What have you got planned for the rest of the week? I was meant to have a guest with me today, and unfortunately they couldn't make it last minute due to meetings and calls overrunning. So I will try to get a guest with me in future lunchtime, kind of brown bag, lunch and learn, and just chill. How is the video and audio, by the way? Do let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat and just let me know that the video and audio is okay. I do have some exciting news. Well, I think it's exciting, but I'm planning to take my streaming to the next level. And I don't just mean that in terms of quality, but also I mean that in terms of allowing me to do more, as in invite people more easily without having any complicated setup. And as you can see to that side, the camera on that side, where I plan to have guests, it is pointing at, if I can kind of point that way, it is pointing at two boxes in front of my kind of recording sofa where I record videos. And I want to build a dedicated streaming PC probably this afternoon, and I'm going to live stream that as well, so you can all see an Apple kind of Mac person struggle to build a PC and install Windows and all that kind of stuff you don't have to do with a Mac. So I will be streaming that, and yes, so the stream quality will be much better, and also I will be able to bring in guests really easily just by sending them a link. So I'm really excited about doing that. If there's anyone who you think you'd like to see on the stream or would benefit to the community, or if you yourself want to be in my stream and you just want to say hey and kind of say what sort of wins you've had, what sort of challenges, anything, successes, failures, we're keeping it authentic at lunchtime. I do want people to do some lightning talks on like kind of 10 minutes in sharing some knowledge. I posted a video last night, which I think got some good feedback, and I think short tips like that, kind of 5-10 minutes, would be really useful. I love those sort of brown bag lunch and learns. So I have got a list of people lined up, but they're all busy at this moment today and tomorrow. So if you know of anyone or yourself, then do let me know. So yes, how is your Monday going, and what do you have planned? I have myself this morning. I was catching up on messages and emails. Got lots of people saying they want to do some live stream collaborations, which is awesome, and just having lots of chats around that at the moment. And I think a few of them will come to fruition sooner. Everyone wants to do it in a few weeks after they prepare and get it perfect. But my lunchtime streams are about authenticity, and it's not about getting it perfect or having a script. I have no script plan. I have no notes, absolutely nothing, apart from the one that says underneath in red where you can see it, where it says kind of open source, DevRel, GitHub, Node, Angular, those sorts of things. Those are my only notes that I'm actually sharing with you. And so it's great to see that more people are arriving. You haven't missed much, just giving a bit of an update. So yeah, nothing planned, want it chilled, want it to be fun, chilled, and to learn as well if possible. So today is going to be more on the chill side, but we will have some learning stuff coming in. And I can even with my new kind of PC setup that I'm going to be building behind me, or in the camera to the side, I'll be able to bring in, I think, up to like 7 people. So there can be 8 of us on the stream. I don't know how that will work, but we could give it a go. Let's try it. Let's be fun and see. So just let me know any feedback and any ideas. We've got so many cool people here in the chat. So we got Vladimir, Lisa. Oh my God, I'm not going to pronounce this so wrong. Lael. Oh my God. I'm Lebanese and I can't even pronounce Lebanese names. I should just get you on the stream. That's it. I should get you on the stream and from Lebanon, and you can pronounce it, and you can just tell everyone about the awesome stuff you're doing with women tech makers in Lebanon. That's really exciting. I'm actually doing an open source talk on Friday. for women tech makers Bulgaria. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be on open source. And who else have we got? So we've got myself in the chat, obviously. Yaz, how you doing? Harshu, Brian, good to see you here. Dean, awesome to see you. Dean, I want to definitely get you on one of my streams. If you've just arrived, I was just saying I'm building a PC that's kind of in that window there. Well, I haven't started building it yet, it just arrived this morning. And it'll be really easy for me to bring in guests. I can just send links, and it's just dead simple. So it's kind of like a hangout practically, but no setup on my side, so I can bring people in really easily. But awesome to have you here, Dean. Just finished setting up my schedule in social media this morning. I'm doing some dev work while watching you. That's awesome to hear. That's really good. You got a schedule. What's the schedule looking like? How's your schedule for the week looking like? Be interesting to know. I got some kind of Cyrillic Vladimir, and it's from Bulgaria. So, but awesome to have people from all around the world. And how has your Monday been? I hope you had a really good start to the Monday. I hope you had a good weekend, and your Monday's been going well. I've been busy and replying to loads of messages on LinkedIn and Twitter about collabs for video. So I'm looking forward to some of them. Some of them not so much, but we'll see. I think it'll be really interesting to see what conversations we have. And I'm doing this every day, Monday to Friday. That we've got lots of time to get people on to share some stories, share some tips and tricks around different areas and subjects. Not jealous of all that streaming PC setup. Let me build it first. It might not work. Andrew, if you're watching, thank you for helping me order those components. And let me try and build it. Hopefully we chose the right components, and then hopefully I build it correctly and it works and I don't bust it. I will be doing the build on a live stream. I will try and do that this afternoon. I probably won't complete the build this afternoon, but I will try, and I really hope to get that machine up and running in the next day or two. Therefore I can just, like I said, just bring people in, and then people can shout out the cool stuff they're doing. So I know Vladimir's doing a lot of stuff as well. I know Dean's doing a lot of streams and videos too. I love people just to come and share the exciting things that they've got going on, because there's so many things going on at the moment. A lot of the people aren't aware of it. And I hope you got your lunch with you. I had my lunch before the stream because you didn't want any ASMR of me munching on the stream, but I do have my drink with me. So I hope you're having your food as well. Brian, wipe down the boxes, Eddie. Can exist on cardboard 72 hours. Okay, good point. I'll rip the boxes up, throw them away, and wash my hands. I think it should be okay. I have the cameras pointing at the boxes rather than pointing at kind of my setup. I think everyone's seen my setup before, so I thought it'd be exciting to show the boxes. And I will spread the boxes out somehow, try and do a top-down view of me building the PC. I think it's gonna be interesting seeing an Apple Mac person build a PC. It's going to be fun, and I'm hoping people on the stream help me out and give me some suggestions, and so I don't try and put like the graphics card where the power supply should go or something like that. It should be interesting. But I think I've got it right. The processor is the one with all the cables, and the power supply is one with all the pins, right? So it should be okay. I'm feeling pretty not confident. And so what else has everyone been up to or got coming up this week? So, Dean, when's your next live stream? I've been talking to Sam as well from Microsoft, and we're talking about doing one too, doing a collab together. But that will probably be in like a week or two. And he's trying to look for a decent microphone so we can do that. I know Dean's got a lot of the kit. And Brian, you have a lot of the kit as well. So when is your live stream on Linux? So I think everyone should give themselves a shout out in the chat, because I'm going to do a terrible job. So let me start back at the beginning of the chat again and give people a shout out. So I'm only terrible with names, but yeah, Vladimir. Did we meet in Bulgaria, if I remember correctly? And does lots of live streaming and coding as well. So I think that's awesome. Lisa is, I think, we've met in London at events and is back in Germany now. And she does lots of music as well as coding. And I just think it's awesome how it's also creative. And I'm not going to pronounce his name wrong again. I'm going to go home. Can I? Lael. I'll just call you by your surname. Is that okay? Miss Matar. There we go. I can pronounce the surname. The surname's easier than the first name. Does women tech makers in Lebanon, does public speaking, got a YouTube channel, so do check out her YouTube channel as well. And Yaz got me into video as well. So though I had other people that I follow on YouTube, people like Gary V and so forth, but Yaz kept on pushing me, and I'm glad she did. I actually started off with Instagram short videos, which I found really hard, but then I got better at them, and I'm doing more longer form video as well. So I'm really grateful for everyone who encouraged me to do that. I don't do much on Instagram anymore because I don't get Instagram. So, and Brian runs Linuxing in London. I think that's the name of the group. You should definitely check it out. And now we're all remote. You don't have to be in London as well. So hopefully Brian's going to be doing more online events. And Dean is one of the DevRel people at Microsoft, and we met at a few events and been geeking out since. And has also now started a new meetup group, and that's been live as well, which is great. So. Brian says he's got old crap. The old stuff is good. Still use it. It still works from the 90s. I'm sure it's fine. And you should definitely get live streaming, Brian. Definitely. So your meetup groups continue. I hope to be able to host other meetup groups. So with my dedicated machine, my fast internet, and I'm able, once I've configured the vMix control panel, I'm able to give people a link where not only just to join the stream, but another link, like an admin link, where I can get them to control their stream and who's on and who's not and so forth. So I'm hoping that other people who maybe don't have streaming kit or don't know how to do it, if I can set up the stream for them and give them the kind of the control panel, and then let the organizer switch between different people or different cameras or change the text and so forth. So and also I can bring in comments from the screen, from the YouTube chat into the video, which I think is really awesome. I think that's just so good because it saves me trying to pronounce people's names. So I'm really apologetic. I hope I haven't lost any friends over this. But yeah, definitely give yourself a shout out. So Lisa, awesome that you're here. Give yourself a shout out. I know I didn't do you justice. Same with everybody else. Dean is helping to organize a bunch of Azure Cloud advocates on Microsoft Developer Twitch a couple of times a week. Awesome. Starting next week. Next week, Dean. Start this week. But I hope that's going good. Really looking forward to seeing those. I haven't done anything with Azure really, apart from the machine learning and AI, the image stuff, so uploading images and getting it to learn from that, which I thought was really awesome. So I'll be keen to learning a lot more about Azure. I think I'm going to do a collab with Sam on a live stream, setting up Azure VMs and so forth. So that would be good. And maybe even some serverless. I'm really interested in Azure's serverless. Because I remember when I not met you, but when I saw you at Serverless London, that the serverless containers on Azure can be run locally, exactly locally with the same technology. No emulators or anything like that. Whereas with other platforms, that's one thing that really bugs me, is running emulators. So that's a game changer for me. So that's really, really interesting. So that's great. Yes, you were here for HackConf with all your cameras and gadgets. I felt jealous as well. Vladimir, thank you very much. Yes, okay. I thought we met at HackConf. That was a really good conference, and I'm hopefully going to come later this year as well. I think it's in September this year. So hopefully all this kind of craziness is sorted, and we can come and do some more filming. So, thanks for joining. Varam has kind of got a sign. Cloud security in London most likely be remote on the 6th of May, but not announced anything yet. Okay, 6th of May, April, May. So that's like in 5 weeks. Awesome. We're looking forward to that. I'm really excited to see how all these events go remote. There are some platforms that you can pay for, and then you can kind of do remote that way. But I don't like them so much because you can't configure them so much. They're not so open. People have to register on new platforms. I mean, there must be like a dozen different ones, and people have to register on different platforms. So I'm interested to see how people do that. I'm keen to keep the events that I do straight on YouTube. And official branded channels at a time to set up. Personal stuff will be sooner. Dean, let's do it. Personal stuff will be sooner. You've been promising me that for over a year. I think it was like Web Summit in Lisbon last year, or was it even the year before? Oh my God, it was the year before, Dean. It was 2018. You promised me you'd do a YouTube channel and do your personal stuff. I'm still waiting, and so is everyone else. But hopefully I encourage other people to do some too. So yeah, everyone in the chat, everyone who's here, please start sharing kind of just a day in the life of you. And if someone else has done something similar, it doesn't really matter because they can't do you. And I'm interested in your take on developing, I don't know, a Node application or a WordPress or whatever it is, and how you go about it, how you set things up, where you host things, the challenges that you have. And feel free to share some of those now. I'd be really interested to know, what sort of challenges you have today or this week. So in terms of, me, for my challenges, for my client at the moment, which is a high street bank, we're just coming to an end and finishing off a project, but we're doing one last third-party integration. And that's quite interesting in terms of, it's, proprietary, so the documentation is out of date and kind of sucks. And we're just going to work through it with them, but that's my challenge for this week, and I need to get a deployment out by Friday, so that's going to be interesting. When you're using a third-party kind of SDK that they update specifically for you, then you have to keep waiting for those deployments, and then you go back with releases, not deployments, releases of the SDK, and you have to go back to them and say, well, I've got the new release, thank you very much, but this doesn't work, and this does this, and so that's been a real challenge for me. I think we should have just, in hindsight, used their API and not their front-end widgets, because they're doing the styling for their widgets. So when we integrate it and it doesn't quite work, we have to go back and forth, and it's just taken a lot longer because a lot of it's out of our control. But it's interesting. I think their vanilla widgets look good, and we were like, okay, they're kind of up and working with animated whizzy graphs, and it should be easy just to kind of drop them in, but it hasn't really worked out that way. So challenging week for me, but I still plan to do this every day, 1 till 2, and like I said, I'm going to do my best to bring in guests. Dean, you're already on the list. Hopefully I can get Brian, Lisa, anyone else who's in the chat. If you want to join, let me know, I'll add you to the list, and just share your challenges and your successes, and it'll be great. Ahmadine's here. Awesome, Ahmadine. So I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to shout out loads of people already. I'm going to give a shout out to Ahmadine. She has an awesome YouTube channel, but she also does it on Twitch. She restreams to a few places, and she restreams every other Saturday with entrepreneurs and shares their stories. I'm trying to convince her to do it every Saturday. But in between those at the moment, so every other Saturday and then every other Saturday, kind of M+1. That's a bit geeky. Ahmadine does a chill out, and she AMA, just ask her anything, and you can ask her about, she got lots of experience in live streaming from previously and also currently as well, with her setup's really cool, and always works seamlessly with her. I don't know how she does it, and she brings in a game, and it's quite interesting. Thank you, Ahmadine, for sharing your OBS screenshot of your settings. So allowed me to compare it to mine, because I know you're on a PC and I'm on a Mac. I don't get access to certain things on a Mac, but as you can see from the screen over there, I will be on a PC soon, and I might be live streaming at that this afternoon. So watch this space, and you're gonna, like I said there before, F1, you're going to see an Apple Mac person struggle to build a PC. It's going to be interesting. Lisa, just working on the project, which is a community platform for students across the country. Awesome. I'm going to ask a question now, and I guess I know the answer already, but is it open source? Can we look at some code? Can we see it? And can the community contribute to it? But I'm guessing probably not, because most kind of our clients, they don't kind of get open source so much. Stephen's here. Stephen's Dean's brother, and they run their meetup group together, and they work at competing companies, which I think is hilarious. So as I mentioned, Dean's at Microsoft, and Brian is Dean's at Microsoft, and Stephen's at AWS. So we've got a great network here of people. So if you do have any questions on cloud platforms, streaming, just put it in the chat, and other people will answer. That's what I want to do with this. I don't want this to be me to be preaching. I don't have all the answers. I know what I know, and I don't know everything. So I'm keen to bring people on. So I'm volunteering Stephen as well to come on one time on a stream and just shout out to what he does, and also maybe answer some questions on AWS. and other things that he knows as well. So yes, I'm definitely stepping up my streaming game, and this is my second kind of lunchtime stream, but they're going to get better. They're going to get more exciting, trust me. So stay tuned, 1 till 2 each day, and if you subscribe, you'll get a notification as well if you hit that bell button. And feel it's hard to switch off, especially since so many people are involved. Yes, I find it is tough. Like today, I'm not working for my client, so because I was planning to kind of build my PC and waiting on third parties to update the new release of the SDK, as I mentioned. So, but I'm still getting messages, which I don't mind. But you're right, it's people work different hours, which I think is great. Like flexible time is really important, and I've done that for years. But you're right. You know, some people start earlier, some people work later. So I get messages from early morning to late in the evening, and I don't mind. My wife keeps me sane and makes sure that I step away from the computer for a bit. But probably not doing I'm not doing it having that balance quite well at the moment yet. But you know, we'll get into a rhythm. I always lean to more towards my work because let's face it, I don't find it work. I love what I do. And I think like a lot of you as well feel the same. But it's dangerous. I need to find a balance. So dual boot, please. Dual boot on the Windows PC. No, it's just going to be a Windows PC with vMix and nothing else installed because I'm still going to use my Mac setup to the live stream. So the PC is just going to be just for streaming and the streaming software. Nothing else is going to be installed on it. I want maximum like power to get the highest quality on the stream, which I don't know how to do the settings on. Do I want more processor? Do I want more graphics card? Hopefully it can use both. And my graphics card's got the new NVENC encoder as well. So I've got like 3 different options for encoding the stream to get higher quality. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Lisa says, not at the moment, but would love to. Should bring it up with them. Yes, you should. Do it open source. And then we can contribute on a live stream to the project. So what sort of technologies are you using, Lisa? Be interested to know. I think you mentioned Node to me before and Mongo. But I'd be interested to know what sort of technologies you're using. Brian, tips for building a machine. Have lots of diag USB sticks ready. Oh, yeah, that's true. Put Windows on it first, but after partitioning, before handling 3 NTFS partitions, leave space for Linux and do it later on. There'll definitely be space. I think I've ordered like a 1 terabyte SSD that sits on the motherboard, so it's pretty fast. I didn't need 1 terabyte in that machine. Literally, kind of 100 gigs would have been enough. But I think it was the kind of cheapest one, the cheapest kind of pound per gig. So yeah, I just went for that. But it's just massively overkill. Windows 10 will break and then it's hard, so best to do Windows Linux. I hope Windows 10 doesn't break because I'll be doing nothing on it, just running one piece of software. I guess worst case, I can put Dropbox on it, I could export the config from the vMix software and keep that updated on Dropbox, so if I ever need to reinstall Windows and install vMix, then I'm just back up and running straight away. There should be minimal things installed in that, but you're right, Linux is always a savior. It has its ups and downs as well, but I still love it. It's awesome. Eddie, do you have any tips on streaming over crappy bandwidth? This seems to be my biggest pain point right now. Done a couple of test ones, but the end product was laggy, no lag within OBS. Oh, that's interesting. So it's a really good question, Dean. And what I would suggest, so I've played with different things. So at the moment, I'm streaming on low latency rather than normal latency or ultra low. So I got that balance between real-time chat and hopefully the video and the chat should only be kind of up to 2 seconds behind rather than normal latency can be up to a minute, I think. This is specifically for YouTube. And if your internet isn't so great and you're on YouTube, I would say go for normal latency because then that way it buffers up more on its own side before it gives it to the user. And that way, if you do kind of get a bit choppy at your end or you have a bad internet for a moment, then people won't notice it. And also do more encoding on your side. So what sort of bit rate are you encoding at? I think Amadine, if I remember correctly, when you sent me the screenshot of your settings, is going at 3000. I'm going at 6000. And then on my new PC, I'll be going probably at 10,000. I want to try, which is the maximum allowed for HD. So we're gonna see how that goes. I don't know if my internet can handle it either. But you might want to lower the bit rate. Do it HD. There's no point doing 4K. Most people don't watch it on 4K, and it's huge. I did try at one point doing 4K and the lowest bit rate, which I think was like 15,000, so 15 megabits for 4K, and it just wasn't great. Like, it was a high res, but it wasn't a good quality. So I would recommend doing HD and lowering the bit rate. I think you can get away with like 2,500. Try that and see how that goes, and do more encoding. Are you streaming from a Mac or a PC? Because if you would kind of encode it more, I think you can kind of get better quality that uses less bandwidth, is my understanding. But keep an eye on that bit rate. Ariana, thanks for joining. So most of you probably know Ariana. She comes with me to lots of events, and you always see me carrying a camera, but she's usually carrying one or two cameras, and she's making sure that I don't miss anything, but she's always catching the natural, awesome shots, and really creative with her for photos and videos. And I always enjoy having her with me at events, because when I come home and look at the content that she's captured, it's always just so creative. Really, really love it. Really good. So Ariana, thank you for joining. And she's recently got herself a camera, so she's going to be doing more photos and videos as well, even in this kind of lockdown time. She's going to be doing that, and she does share them with me occasionally, so hopefully she'll start sharing them online for other people as well, because her photos are very creative. It's really awesome. Brian, Diagnostics. I realized that after I kind of finished that, but thank you for clarifying, because I was a bit slow. Yes, that's right. Node and Mongo, learning new bits, deployment with DigitalOcean, stretching this brain. Yeah, there's always so much more to learn. I've done deployments with AWS, with GCP, with DigitalOcean as well. I don't use DigitalOcean so much anymore. I'm using more GCP now, actually, and going to be looking into Azure. So I'm guessing maybe an Azure stream with Sam or Dean on how to do not just serverless but virtual machines could be, I guess, quite interesting for more people, because I haven't seen that work, how that works in Azure yet. So that'd be quite interesting. Windows 10 not break. Oh, what a sense of humor. I'm being positive, right? This is Positive Monday lunchtime, right? Amadine 6002, but I could definitely do. Oh, sorry, Amadine. Oh, you are 6,000. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think 6,000 is, I think, a popular one, but you probably need, apparently, the recommendation from Live Streaming Pros, which is another channel on YouTube that I follow, who do a lot of live streaming. They've been doing it for years. What they recommend is your internet is double your bitrate. So if you're streaming at, say, 5,000, your internet should be 10,000. It needs to be 10 megabit up connection. So I went for 2,000 bitrate, 720 output stream, but still had problems. Wow. I think it's my internal network. I'm stretching the network, reach to the office back of the garden. Is that with internet? What's it called? Over LAN over power. So is that? Hopefully it's not going over Wi-Fi, because I found a lot of like issues with Wi-Fi. I think it's too variable over Wi-Fi. Definitely be plugged in. Wow, definitely need somebody else on the stream so they can do some of the chat. Give me a chance to have my drink. So. Yeah, Dean, what happens if you do an internet, what do you call it, a speed test, internet speed test? What do you get? And if you do it a few times, is it consistent? I'd be interested to know. I'll check the encoding, might get a PC with GPU. My Surface Book 1 isn't the best. Yeah, that will make a difference, I think, definitely. When I switched from my iMac Pro to be dual boot, and did it in Windows, I had access to the graphics card within OBS, got an extra drop down for hardware, and I found that it wasn't so hard on the computer. So yeah, have a try and experiment and see. I guess it'd be good to know what the bottleneck is. Can you check the settings and monitor your Surface Book and see, is it like flat out at 100% on like the CPU or something? And then if it is, then it could be that. Definitely one to look and monitor. Ariana, do you have a video clip with the non-blinking? I loved it. Powerline. Thank you, Brian. Non-blinking. I blink now, especially on a live stream, right? I blink. So I've got a bit better. It's because, look, in my defense, for the people that are watching, and in my defense, when I used to record videos, I used to kind of say a sentence, then blink, then say another sentence, and then blink. And so I did blink. But when I edited the video, I'd move out that, I'd kind of chop out that silence between each sentence, so it was a bit kind of faster. Being a video, people like videos to be kind of quicker. But then I'd chop out the blinks. So the whole video, like the 5-10 minute video, looked like my eyes were like this the whole time. So thank you, Brian, for bringing it up and reminding everyone. No, I might try the power adapter. Someone else said that. Good point. I have a Wi-Fi mesh. Yeah, the Wi-Fi mesh will not do you any favors. It's convenient, but definitely go over the power line. I'm not doing this over a power line now, but I do have power line at the end of my garden, and it is pretty good. It is pretty good. Get one that's got a good bandwidth. I think you can get a gig now. I think I have half a gig, but get a gig. Even though you're not going to use that, but you just want, just in case it fluctuates or deteriorates, then you got a bit more. But it definitely sounds like Wi-Fi is bad at the best of time. So if you're doing it over a Wi-Fi mesh from the end of your garden, yeah, I think it's going to be up and down. Just too much, kind of too many variables, I think. Dean, didn't you spend years as a network engineer? Oh, I love this truth coming out now. Not just about my blinking, but it's also coming out about other people in the chat. Thank you, Stephen. That's awesome. Okay, so this is Dean. You should be helping me. That's awesome. Ping between devices also uses mmap. Is handy. Yeah, to see what your ping is. When I was on Wi-Fi, my ping just went from, I think, like kind of 5 milliseconds to suddenly like I think a few hundred, which made a big difference. So yeah, try that. I'll be interested to know, Dean, if you can try now, then great. If you're at your computer, at that same computer. If not, just ping me a message on Twitter afterwards. I'll be really interested to know what kind of what your network is like, and kind of how your computer is handling the encoding as well. I'm guessing you might have more than one bottleneck, or like as you know with all systems, when you remove one bottleneck, you find the next one. So I wonder how far the next one is, kind of further down the line, is in do you get a better stream? But hopefully you do, and hopefully you don't have to kind of buy too much kit. I think most people can stream with a lot of the kit they have. It might not be the best quality, but as I've been kind of doing my YouTube now for 2 years, I wanted a better streaming machine, especially now it's all doing more from home. I definitely wanted a higher quality stream, and to be able to bring in guests, and also to be able to bring in the questions and tips from the chat into the screen quite easily, just with a click. So that's my plan. Brotherly love, yeah. But the video clip is funny. Oh, I don't know ZenMap. Okay, I have to have a look at that one. Oh, Nmap. I don't know ZenMap. These are all Linux tools, I'm guessing. So yes, good to test your network with those. There are lots of awesome tools with that. Hey, it's good to be authentic, right? No one's perfect. I stream in a week from now, a month from now, is going to be so much better than it is right now. Although today it's so much better than it was a month ago, than it was a year ago. So I think just the more we practice, the more we do things, the better we get. I mean, don't do this, but if you scroll down on my YouTube video and find one of my first few videos, actually the first like 20 or 30 videos, who am I kidding? They're still shit now. But what I mean is they're even worse when you look back at the older videos. They are really, really bad. Yes, I don't blink. Yeah, they're highly edited as well. Imagine what the raw one was like. Maybe one day I'll share one of the raw videos. I think my video editor in one of my videos put it at the end, like the bloopers. I think I maybe had like 30 seconds of me trying to say like one word, and I left it in there because I think it was really funny. But it's also worrying how hard it was for me to say these couple of English words, and English is the only language that I speak. But yes, that was quite funny. Most important is the sound. You need to invest in one thing. I recommend a mic. Yeah, Amadine's completely right. Actually, I'd love to bring that up on the screen now and kind of in big writing in a future stream soon. But yes, the sound is really important. How is my video and sound? Hopefully it's good. The mic's quite near to me. I've just got the Blue Yeti. Bought this mic like 3 years ago, and it's pretty good. There are better mics, and I have got an XLR mixer that I could plug into the computer to give me even better audio. But I'm not going to buy another mic. I don't think there's a point in buying another mic. I think what I've got is good enough. But I'll let you be the judge of that. You let me know in the chat if my sound is good enough. Even I'd personally love to have a real camera instead of my C920. Yeah, the C920 is good. So what's at my boxes over here, and the boxes haven't been unpacked. I'm hoping the boxes will unpack themselves, but they haven't. But that's the C920 as well. And what I've got in front of me is a real camera. So you can kind of see the difference, I suppose. I get the blur background, but yeah, I think just people need to stream with what they've got and with the budget they can. I think that's important. Don't do what I did, which was, looking back, was really stupid. I kind of want to do like face palm right now, because I waited till I had the kit before I started. And that's my biggest regret, was I wish I just started sooner. So I started about 2 years ago, but it could have been 3 years ago, and I could have been so much better. I could be kind of where I am now, like a year ago. So I would say just get started, and I'm still making improvements all the time myself. ZenMap is a GUI for Nmap, works on Mac and Windows. Oh, okay, interesting to know. Thanks, Brian. That's a really good tip, actually. Did not know that. I love learning more all the time. See, it's already turning into a lunch and learn. We've got tips coming in from the chat. I love that. Thank you all so much. That has really made my day. More so than having those boxes to unpack after this stream. I got lost in the chat. Where is it? Ariana completely agrees. Awesome. Love the people, agreeing with people disagreeing. I think that's, the way we only all get better. I love the progression. That's what makes streaming exciting, to tweak things and improve things, quality and personality. Absolutely. I think that's just comes with practice. So I think that's important. Any suggestions, feedback, do give it to me as well. I would appreciate it. And like I said, if anyone wants to be on my stream, I've had Amadine on my streams before, but not on my lunchtime ones. But I will get her on as well, because she's got loads of great tips to share, and she's awesome on camera as well. Your audio is great. Oh yes, Amadine also uses the Blue Yeti. Oh, that's really good. Yes, and I'll explain why I think that's really good, because I'm never sure how my audio sounds. Yes, I can record it to disc, I can watch the YouTube back, but when you're hearing yourself, it's not quite the same. But you're right, Amadine, you have the Blue Yeti as well. So, and I really like your audio. I think it's great. So that makes me happy as well, and gives me confidence that my audio is good as well. So, because hearing someone else, I think you can get a better sound in your head of what it sounds like, rather than listening to yourself. So that's good to know. Maxim says, hi, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Where are you joining from, and what are you up to this week? Let us know how it's all going. Great sound and video. Thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that. Sound is good says Brian. I've been jumping around the chat. Oops, getting a bit lost, but it's fine. It's all part of the fun. All part of the fun. Sound is good and clean. I wonder, how do you get guests' remote video into a stream? That's a really good question. So the way I do it at the moment, if I'm using OBS, I'll open them up in Slack video or Google Hangouts, and I'll add the window, and I'll crop the edges, and then just bring them into the stream that way. And on the Mac, you have to reroute the audio that comes out of the speakers back into as another audio input on OBS, which is a bit of a pain, because it's a bit kind of temperamental. It's like a third-party proprietary software you have to install, which I wasn't too keen on installing, but I did that, and it works. However, with vMix, I can just kind of do like a vMix hangout, as it were, and just send them a link. They join, and they get to see what I'm sharing on my screen. So when I've got, like now, I've got the text below, and I've got the other camera to the side, that side. They get to see that on their screen. I can control the quality up to HD of what they see, and also what they send to me. So just by sending them a link, it just works, and it's really, really straightforward. I think that's really useful and easy to use. I don't have to then crop anything. It comes in as if I'm putting a webcam into my stream, and I can move it around and do various things with it. And I can do that up to, I think, 7 people. There's a total of 8 of us on there. So that's really good. I'm really looking forward to that, rather than kind of recropping stuff, and then if someone leaves the hangout, then all the windows move, and I have to recrop it and rechop it, and it's just a bit of a stress nightmare doing it last minute in the stream, because you can't do it until people join the hangout. So I ask people to come on 50 minutes before. Sometimes they come kind of 10 minutes late. It's now 5 minutes before the stream, and even if I've got say I got 3 people coming on and 2 people come on 15 minutes before, I still can't set it up because when that other person joins, it will all nudge around and move around. So yeah, it's it'll be really good. I think it will definitely help me take it to the next level and allow me to have someone to help me with my streaming, because then they can grab links and send it to people and do various things. It is my plan. We'll have to see how that goes. So Vladimir, hopefully that answers your question on how I bring people in. So at the moment, like Google Hangouts through OBS, but in the future, we're going to do it professionally. So that should be cool. Dean has a Blue Yeti too, like it a lot. I also have the Rode Podcaster, but I feel I need to get closer to my mouth for it to get any good audio. Yeah, I think I have a couple of the Rode mics. I have the Rode Broadcaster, I think that's the one. And it's the Blue Yeti is a dynamic mic, no, a condenser mic, and the other Rode that I have, I don't know about yours, but one I have is a dynamic mic. So if I have it in front of me, like if I talk away from here, you probably can still hear me pretty good, and if I talk this side, you can still hear me pretty good, because this mic is capturing everything. Whereas with the the dynamic mic, it's designed for a noisy environment. So if you're at an event, I use that type of mic because then you've got to speak right into it. And then if you talk away from it, you can't hear anything anymore, because the idea is trying to only capture what's really close to the mic. So I don't know if that's the case for yours. Maybe it is. Or if you can adjust the gain. But remember, when you adjust the gain, you'll get more reverb in the room. I've got some stuff arriving this week. I just grab one of these, so I've got loads of these arriving, and I'm going to plaster my room in them, so I can hopefully have less reverb in the room, and even have better audio. So hopefully, let's see. Yeah, sound and video quality is great. Turning into a real YouTuber. Thanks, Yaz. You're one of the people who supported me from the beginning, even before I started. I remember when I got the camera and I still haven't started it yet, you were encouraging me to use my phone, and so I really appreciate that. So thank you. The C922 came to life when I moved to the Mac to Windows, so more control. Yeah, I hear the C922 is you've got more features. Is it 4K? I can't remember, but on a live stream you don't really need 4K anyway. So I don't think people should look at getting a 4K camera. Amadine, actually, you mentioned that you'd like to get a real camera. I know that live streaming pros recommend like an entry-level digital SLR or mirrorless one, and that's the Sony A5100. I think you can pick one up fairly reasonable now, and the lens is a bit more expensive. So if you get a decent lens on it, then it captures a lot more light, and it gives you that more blurred kind of background. So yeah, I don't know. I think they estimated. I'm kind of spitballing here, but I think they were saying that you could pick one up for in the hundreds in the lower hundreds rather than kind of in the thousands. I'm using my Sony A7R3, but that's because that's what I have, and I kind of feel bad for streaming. Okay, not today for hours, but sometimes for hours. And I've got this expensive camera that I might burn it out. I don't know, because these cameras, although they're great for streaming, weren't designed for streaming. So I don't know. We'll see. You might see me crying in a year's time when I've busted my really expensive camera. I started Windows in 1984. Can bore you for hours on it. It'd be good to hear about the history. I haven't used Windows since uni, so it's like 15, 20 years. Showing my age now, and. Yeah, just been Linux and Mac since. Mostly Linux and then Mac the last, I suppose, like 12 years. But yeah, getting back into Windows now. Gonna see me struggle to build a PC and install Windows. Okay, let me catch up. Vladimir, you deleted your message. What was it? Was it something a bit rude? No, I'm joking. Let me know what it was. I was hoping to be able to import the guest stream directly into OBS. No, you can't. You can do NDI. So if they send you an NDI via Skype, you can do that. But you'd have to have Skype running and then bring it in. I tried that, and the quality was horrendous, and Skype is a resource hog. So then that's taking up processing power from that you could be using to encode your stream. So yeah, I didn't find that didn't work. I wasn't too keen on NDI, really. Apparently, you can make it better quality, but then you still got to use Skype via that. Again, with With vMix, I can bring people in on a hangout kind of style. But also, if I'm doing, more of a longer stream rather than just kind of bringing in a guest, if I'm doing more of a technical stream and I want even more quality, more control, vMix can do vMix to vMix. So say I was doing one with Dean and he streams and he's got vMix installed, he can do vMix directly to me, which is even better quality because it's not kind of going via a browser, it's going directly. Obviously dependent on his internet connection. And then it gives him more control, I think, on what he can do as well. So, it's definitely professional software. It's not cheap as well. I think you get like 60 days trial, which is pretty good. So I signed up like a couple of weeks ago and I haven't used it since. I've kind of lost a couple of weeks. So vMix, if you're watching, can you extend my trial period by a bit longer? I haven't really used it yet. I think you should definitely start making shorter clips for Snap. There's so much techie channels on there. Really? Snapchat? I tried TikTok, but no one likes my videos. Everyone just wants jokey, gimmicky videos on TikTok. I think, kind of educational ones aren't doing that well on TikTok. And Snapchat, that stuff is confusing. I'm old. Like, I've just figured out Instagram, kind of. I don't really get stories and stuff, but yeah, kind of. I'm just short on money right now, investing in my gear. I need to shoot my first video non-stream and see how I like it, see if it's worth the money. Yeah, it makes sense, Amadine. Shoot something on your phone or on your webcam and see how it goes. I think you'll be great at it. The editing, as you know, takes time, but I think it's worthwhile. I did my video last night on JavaScript console, the console objects, the console log, console table, etc. and so forth. I recorded that, edited it all within about an hour, but it's not like a perfectly clean video. I remember thinking about it this morning, saying, I forgot to include my intro at the beginning of the video. I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that. So, but at least I got a video out because I haven't had a video out in a while. I've done lots of live streams recently and I wanted to kind of balance it out with doing a video as well. But give it a go. Let me know how you get on. Also, when you record OBS, I think to your disk as a video, you can record it at a better quality, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm really enjoying the technical tips on video. Always learning. Can you write them down for an OAP? I can't read and write. That's why I do video. When people send me blog posts, they look great, but I can't read and write. So, watch the stream back. Or we should put I should pin a comment in the video, in the stream video afterwards with different sections, you can put the timestamps and you can click it and go straight to that part of the video, but that'll just take me too long. But if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. I'll pin your comment at the top. But any questions, just put a comment in the video below and I will afterwards, because I won't watch the chat again, but if you, after the stream is finished at 2:00, if you put a comment below, I'll happily reply with some bullet points and tips and stuff like that, and that way I'll get notified by an email and I won't forget to reply. So hopefully that helps. Unfortunately, got to run. Have a fab day. Lisa, thank you so much for joining. Awesome to have you here. And good luck with your project and the node and all the exciting things you're doing. Keep me posted on how it goes. Andrew, you always have to lower the tone. I thought that was more of a Simon Casey thing. I think you and Simon spent too much time together back in the day at CityLink. Good to have you here, Andrew. Do you see my boxes? Andrew helped me choose these components. So if they don't work, they're the wrong ones or don't fit together, then I can blame Andrew. And Andrew was also going to buy a new camera and a streaming machine too, because he's got more money in a sense. What can I say? Vladimir, thanks, no problem. Keep the questions coming, loving it, absolutely loving it. If you think of questions after the stream, don't forget we've got tomorrow at 1 p.m. too, and you can always leave a comment below. We've still got kind of 12 minutes to go, so hopefully because I can still add value, or other people can add value for the next 12 minutes. Yeah, as educational clips on Snap would be great. You should definitely look into it. You'll have to teach me once the lockdown is over. You'd have to Snapchat. That's some crazy kid stuff. That is I'm too old. Eddie, get someone to transcribe them. I used to transcribe my videos. I used to get the audio done to a podcast and then get it transcribed into a blog post and then link from the blog post to the podcast and to the YouTube video or live stream. But I felt that it didn't get a lot of traction, so I didn't do it. I mean, if you think that's useful, then I can kind of start doing that again. Maybe I should really double down in these times and get my kind of social footprint wider and reach a wider audience. Because some people, you're right, like to read. Some people, can't come during the day. They might have a meeting and can't join the chat. Dean says, as a user, how do I find educational snippets on Snap? Yaz? Oh, that's a great question. Yes, before I start creating, how can I find technical people on there? And I haven't even got Snapchat installed. I don't even have an account on there. But how long can the videos be on Snapchat? 'Cause I know on Instagram it's like a minute, and on TikTok it's like, I don't know, like 15 seconds. Although I have uploaded more. I don't know how that works. I upload more. It used to complain, but doesn't anymore. Not sure. What's the basic hardware that you've got? i7 32 gigs. Please. Come on. You got to go big or go home, right? I've got the i9-9900K. And then I've also got the NVIDIA, Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, NVIDIA GeForce 2080 Super. So it should be pretty good. I've had it unboxed in their own boxes, like I unboxed out the big box, and I can kind of hold it up and show it to you. But I might do this afterwards. I might try and unbox that and start putting it together this afternoon. But I know it's going to destroy the rest of my day. Because once you get started on these things, right, you don't want to stop. I want to make a mess. It's going to take up the whole space in the office. Eddie's quick guide to streaming setup. i9 cool. GeForce RTX 2080 Super. Yes, thanks, Andrew. I thought it was something like that. With 32 gigs of RAM, onboard hard disk, so it's like super fast. Was it like an M2 thing, Andrew? Something like that. It looked super fast. Dean, if you open the app and slide right, you can subscribe to a variety of people and channels. I want to study law, but love tech so much. I subscribe to loads of Mac versus Windows stuff, as well as the news. Water or fan cooled? Water cooled. My first water cooled PC. Okay, when I was at university, I had a PC, and it obviously wasn't water cooled then, but now it's water cooled. I'm really chuffed about that. So I think, water cooled. With some big ass fans and a big case, because the black box on the right is only the case, and the one on the left is all the components. So I hope you're all going to help me build this in my next stream, either this afternoon or tomorrow evening. I can't decide. I might start this afternoon and then continue tomorrow evening. But yeah, I hope you're all going to kind of give me tips and help. I'm going to need it. Apple person building a PC, it's going to be a disaster. But I remember what people told me. The processor is the one with all the cables hanging out the back, and the power unit is the one with all those pins at the bottom. I think I'm off to a good start. I hope I don't cut my finger open in the box. AMD CPUs have a lot of potential too. Yeah, I hear AMD is really good, but and same with the Radeon graphics cards. But because of the vMix software I wanted to use, it's highly tested with Intel and NVIDIA, and I wanted to get the highest streaming quality I could. So I focused on their top end recommendations. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, the others, AMDs and Radeons are really good. There is some interesting things coming out from the others, from the competition. So definitely. SSD was around, that'd be 3,700 megabits. That's like almost 4 gigabits, right? So yeah, it's going to be fast hard disk. Not that much is going to be going on. I think encoding is going to be all kind of in RAM and in processor, I'm guessing. Water cooled, watch out for the leaks. Now, it should all be a sealed unit, I hope. When I put it together, hopefully I don't pierce any holes in it. We'll see. It's closed unit water cooling, thermal intake. I've been using closed system water cooling for years. Never had an issue. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so it's a sealed unit, so we're good. So I don't have to kind of fill it up with water. And I have seen some really interesting things online where people have rather than just water, the liquid's red, and they have a reservoir, and I guess the water goes out and it comes in the top, and the reservoir's the one that's chilled, a bit like a heating system, but more like a chilled system. That looked really cool. It reminded me of kind of the turtles and the green gunk thing. That's pretty cool. So we'll see. it's going to be interesting. I bet you I forgot to order like a HDMI cable to plug it into my screen at the top so I can actually turn it on. But I suppose I could always do that on Amazon today. So that's the good thing about me at least building it today. Even if I don't turn it on today, I can just see if there's any missing things that I need to order for tomorrow. I will probably need to order another HDMI capture because I'm quite keen for to have the output from, so the output from my Mac is going to go into the PC for streaming. My mic and camera will go into the PC. But when I do video calls on my Mac, I want to use the mic and camera. So what I want to do is it's going to go into the PC and I want it to come back into the Mac. It's going to make a crazy loop. So go back into the Mac. So therefore, via the what's it called? HDMI to USB. Therefore, I can bring what I've got coming out of my streaming software, although I won't be streaming at the time, but bring it into my kind of webcam sort of style. That way I can put overlays, I can switch to different windows, I can do various things, and even up my kind of video calling quality, as it were, and experience. So that's the idea. So yeah, HDMI from Mac to PC, HDMI from PC to Mac. But I need to buy another HDMI capture card. But I thought before I did that, I'll just see how I got on with what I've got, and hopefully there's space in the PC. Andrew, is there space in the PC to put another PCI x8 capture card? The 4K 60 frames per second? Hopefully there is. Yeah, years ago, systems, data centers used to have a bad habit of leaking. It's an in-joke. Fill it up. Can you put fish in it too? Oh my God, that's a great idea. Can I put like little fish and they could swim around? That'd be so awesome. Don't give me crazy ideas like that, Dean. You know, seeming like kind of cutting the pipe, putting fish in it, and kind of retaping it back up with duct tape, right? Duct tape fixes everything. I have a basket link I can share if you want. I think you have one spare. Okay, one spare. Awesome. And hopefully it can run at the ×8 speed. I remember we weren't sure if the speed drops as you add another one. So again, these are all learnings, and hopefully, and that's my plan. And hopefully it can take one more and it should be okay. I know it says ×8, but I don't think I need ×8 because I'm not going to be running 4K into it. I don't think it's just going to be running at HD. I think that should be fine. But we will see. It's all good fun. We've got 4 minutes left of this lunchtime stream. I want to say thank you so much to everyone. We're not ending just yet, but I want to say thank you very much to everyone taking part in the chat. It really, really made my day. And it's great to hear kind of what challenges you're having and the tips that people shared and the setups that they've got. Interesting that the people who don't stream, or even the people who also do stream, what do you think people can do to make the experience better in their streaming? What would you like to see? Have you seen another streamer do something and you think, oh, that's great? Or have you got an idea that nobody's done yet but you would like to see? So yeah, just share those in the chat. I'm really keen to learn more how I can make the experience even better. Like I said, I plan to bring in guests, not just plan guests before, but I plan to bring in guests just when, like we're in the chat now, if someone's giving some really good tips, I'd love to just send them a link and get them to join the stream just kind of out of the blue and just make it a bit more interactive rather than just, you know, my beautiful face on the stream, but get some other people on. So yeah, ideas like that I'm going to experiment with. Hopefully I don't get any trollers. I probably only bring people that that I've spoken to, that I've spoken to before, rather than because someone might troll and I don't want that. Or someone might be, you know, butt naked. I'm not interested in that either. Not that sort of stream. Andrew. I think everyone's spare. Yeah, Andrew, good idea. That's the link. Should be what I bought. Thanks for sharing the link, Andrew. That's awesome. And what else do we have going on this week? So tonight, Andrew and me are streaming on Code Mortals. Andrew, can you put a link in the chat to our YouTube channel for Code Mortals? We will be, Andrew and me will be streaming tonight. We'll probably be doing something along the lines of Angular and Firebase, and we're building this kind of quiz platform. So every Friday night, we started last Friday, we want to do a tech kind of pub quiz. Have I explained that right, Andrew? And at the moment, people are, so last Friday when we asked the questions and did the picture round, which I was so excited about. We had like the 1980s computer games like Street Fighter, and I chopped out the image and So you just had like a small portion of it. You had to guess what the game was, which I really enjoyed doing. Because some of them it was a bit easier, some of them you could see it was like quite hard to guess. But we're trying to do create a really kind of quick and dirty platform, just a real prototype where people can put their answers on there. That way we can get a score of what people are getting and people can see where they compete with other people. Because just in the chat, people said, oh, I got 12 out of 20, whatever it is. But you don't know kind of how truthful it is. So we're thinking something along the lines of that. But it might have to be multiple choice. I don't know if it's good or not. Because if it's free text form, people could kind of write it wrong. Like write the number 2 as a number rather than a word. So it would be interesting to see. It makes it harder for us to programmatically check that. Where I know you can do things like an Elasticsearch or other places you can do like SoundX and matching and those sorts of things. And then you can do, if it was like a 90% match or above, it's correct. If not, then don't do it. So, but that's way too advanced. We're keeping this quick and dirty. So we might be working on that platform tonight. It's open source. You can take a look. It's on the Code Mortals GitHub. Andrew, thank you very much for sharing the link. And Pub Quiz Part 2 this Friday, 9 o'clock. We will have it. I should actually create, a stream link that we can share sooner. We should try and be a bit more refined. The first one was very rough and ready, very last minute. I think it was Friday morning, Andrew said, I've got a great idea, let's do this. And then we were busy during the day. And then I think like an hour before we were like, oh no, we did stream that day building the platform, but we didn't spend enough time doing the questions. So like an hour before the actual pub quiz event, we were, we need to get up with some questions. So Andrew and me were frantically coming up with questions. I did the first 2 rounds, and while I was doing those 2 rounds, Andrew was still building the next round. Do you remember that animated GIF where the train's coming along and the person's kind of trying to clear the track just before? I think the meme is kind of associated with like developing on production or something like that. So it was kind of like that. So that was quite fun and interesting. Dean, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it, and thanks for the questions, the tips and feedback. Let me know how you get on with your streaming and your testing with your ping over Wi-Fi and your bandwidth, and the internet LAN over power. I forget what it's called, but Brian mentioned it in the comment above. So yeah, let us know how you get on. Look forward to seeing your stream. Have a great day. Are we keeping to 9 or doing 8? I think we should keep to 9 because then it's after dinner. That's what I think. But then the people, I suppose, as you go further east, it becomes later in the evening. Brian can do questions. Yeah, we should have Brian. We had a history section. I think Brian would be really good at that. He knows like all the weird Windows questions and all that kind of, I guess, those strange stuff from back in the day. So that would be good. But more history and general knowledge. Yeah, we did have we started with general knowledge. Then we went to the picture round. I think then we went to like games and something, and then we went to history. So yeah, we'll keep something similar to that. We might tweak it a bit, but the picture round definitely made me laugh. Seeing some of the guesses in the stream was quite funny. We could have a guest for 1 round. Yeah, I think that'd be good. That takes the pressure off us, right? If Brian does Google Slides, then we can just bring the slides in, and hopefully I have my PC ready for this Friday, and we can then do it even hopefully more professionally, which also might mean it might even be worse, might even break it. But it's 2 o'clock. I think it's time for everyone to get back to work. I know I've got to get back to work, or I might start building that there. Yeah, I think I might start building that. Let me see. I'll start a new stream for that though. Everyone, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this stream, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 1 till 2 every weekday. And I'm going to have some guests to share their stories as well. How many questions? Love the Google Slides idea. 10 questions per round, Brian, I think is what we're doing at the moment. We had 4 rounds and it took us about 2 hours. The first 2 rounds took a lot longer because, yeah, I talk a lot. I know, Andrew, you were thinking it, so I thought I'd just say it. I just read your mind and entered it. Andrew's round was a lot quicker. Easy. How hard? I think you should have like the first few start off really easy, and then just get harder towards the end. So the one at the end is quite hard, I suppose. So I'm going to Andrew grab a link, and I'm going to. I want to unbox that. I want to do it, but if I do unbox it and start setting up, I will start a new stream. So therefore, people who kind of are leaving the lunch and learn can join the Watch Eddie break a lot of PC components with his Mac hands. So let's see. I will put the holding page up and I'll leave the chat going for a few more minutes so people can share some links. Thank you again all so much for joining. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 1 o'clock. Oh, not that one. That's wrong. End.